venous drainage and lymphatic drainage of upper limb. The competencies are fascia of upper limb that divides upper limb into different compartments. Then veins and venous drainage of upper limb and lymphatic drainage of upper limb. Fascia and the compartments of upper limb. Brachial fascia of the arm. This encloses arm like a sleeve. Superiorly, the fascia is continuous with the deltoid fascia, infraspinatus fascia, and pectoralis fascia. Inferiorly, the brachial fascia is continuous with the epicondyles of the humerus and the olecraneal process of ulna. This is continuous with the fascia of the forearm. In the arm, it gives two septa, the medial and lateral intramuscular septa. The septa run inside from outside, that is enclosing the arm, to get attached to the supracondylar ridges and the shaft of humerus. Thus, the septa divide the arm into anterior and posterior compartments. Then antebrachial fascia. Antebrachial fascia. It is the lower extension of brachial fascia. It also envelopes forearm like a sleeve. In the forearm, there are no intermuscular septa as such, as all the muscles are invested in their own fascia, and there are no two recognizable compartments in the forearm. Veins of upper limb. The veins of the upper limb can be anatomically divided into two, that is superficial veins and deep veins. Superficial veins. The major superficial veins of upper limb are cephalic and basilic veins, and they are located in the superficial fascia. Basilic vein. This vein originates from the medial side of dorsal venous arch. It ascends the medial aspect of forearm to the cubital fossa. Here, it receives the medial cubital vein as a tributary in the elbow or at the elbow. Then, basilic vein runs upwards to axilla, and at the lower border of teres major, the vein pierces the deep fascia of the arm and joins with the brachial veins to form the axillary vein. Cephalic vein. This vein arises from the lateral side of dorsal venous arch. It ascends in the anterolateral aspect of forearm, passing anteriorly as it comes nearer to the elbow. The medial cubital vein begins here, proximal to elbow, and it runs obliquely in the cubital fossa to join basilic vein. Then the cephalic vein runs upwards up to the shoulder, and at the shoulder, the cephalic vein travels between the deltoid and pectoralis major muscles. This groove is also known as deltopectoral groove. Here, the cephalic vein pierces the clavipectoral fascia and enters into axilla. Within the axilla, the cephalic vein terminates in the axillary vein. Deep veins. The deep veins are situated deep to deep fascia. These are paired veins that accompany and lay on either side of an artery. For example, the brachial veins are larger in size and are situated on either side of the brachial artery. The pulsation of the brachial artery aid in venous return. The veins which are structured in this way are known as venae commentis. Perforator veins. The perforator veins run between the deep and superficial veins. So they connect deep veins with superficial veins. Venous drainage of the upper limb. The factors which help in venous drainage of upper limb are: the most important factor which aids venous drainage is the negative pressure which is accomplished in thorax by the act of inspiration. Further, the venous drainage in the upper limb is aided by hand movements, such as making fist, compresses the forearm muscles and compresses the veins which are running along the major arteries. Apart from that, the pulsations of the respective arteries aid venous drainage in the venae commentis. In the arm, there are compartments, that is extensor and flexor compartments, and the movements of extension and flexion which occur at elbow and shoulder aid in venous drainage, as the flexor and extensor muscles work synergistically in the tight compartments and help in venous drainage. Lymphatic drainage of upper limb. The lymphatics drain tissue fluid and plasma proteins back into the bloodstream. Once the tissue fluid enters the lymphatic vessel, it is known as lymph. After that, lymph is filtered in several nodes which are called as primary, secondary and tertiary, that is one after another, and finally the lymph is released into the venous system. Lymphatics in upper limb are classified into superficial and deep lymphatics. Superficial lymphatics. The lymph from lateral part of hand follow the cephalic vein into infraclavicular lymph nodes. Lymph from the medial hand follow basilic vein to supratrochlear lymph nodes. The supratrochlear lymph nodes are just above the medial epicondyle. These in turn drain into lateral group of axillary lymph nodes. Deep lymphatics. Deep lymphatics run with major deep veins of forearm, such as radial, ulnar and brachial veins. These in turn drain into lateral group of axillary lymph nodes. The deep lymphatics drain lymph from joints, their capsules, periosteum, tendons and muscles. Lymphatic drainage of upper limb. The lymph from lateral group of axillary lymph nodes then drain into central group, that is the secondary group. The secondary group, that is central group, will end in apical group, which is the tertiary group. Then the apical group forms one trunk, that is called subclavian trunk. The subclavian trunk joins jugular trunk, which is coming from head and neck, to form right and left lymphatic ducts. And these ducts join venous system at the junction of subclavian vein with the internal jugular vein. Thank you.